8:03 on Monday, September 30th. 62 degrees now. Rain off and on today. Highs low 70s. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
And I'm John Aaron. The top story we're following this hour is the Washington Commanders and their winning ways. Their win streak is now at 3 in a row after that runaway win over the Cardinals. Joining us live with more WTOP sports reporter Dave Preston.
Break up the burgundy and gold. Commanders in yesterday's win at Arizona scored the first two times they had the ball, while they also got points after all four second-half possessions. Quarterback Jaden Daniels puts up video game numbers, 26 of 30 passing. I almost expect one of these days to have him have more completions than attempts, even though that's not possible.
He even looked good on that interception. Like, he threw that interception with confidence.
Yes, the ground game, meanwhile, pounds out 216 yards, almost 6 per carry. The defense, I'm going to say the D earns a B+, tallying a takeaway. They also hold the Cardinals to just a pair of scores, 4 of 11 on third down. It might be a little early to be printing playoff tickets, but at 3-1, this team has looked as good as it has been since the final weeks of the 2012 playoff run. Much more in sports. Dave Preston, WTOP News.
All right, Dave. A federal judge in Greenbelt will hear from a student organization today that wants to hold a vigil on the date that sparked the war in Gaza. WTOP's Sarah Jacobs reports the group claims its First Amendment rights are being violated.
The American Civil Liberties Union is siding with a group called University of Maryland Students for Justice in Palestine, which said its vigil was intended to commemorate the Palestinian lives lost in the ongoing conflict. After approving the group's request to hold the interfaith vigil on McAlden Mall back in July, the university withdrew its approval of all expressive events on October 7th for what it called safety and security reasons. In an amicus brief filed with the U.S. District Court in Greenbelt, the ACLU said the students' right to free expression in America's public universities cannot be curtailed on days of symbolic importance just because the university deems the message intolerable. Sarah Jacobs, WTOP News.
A strike scheduled to go into effect overnight if no deal is reached could make it hard for you to get your shopping done between now and the holidays. WTOP's Neil Augenstein explains.
Port workers at 36 ports up and down the East Coast, including Baltimore, are set to go on strike at midnight. Longshoremen load and unload the huge containers that carry things on cargo ships, everything from food to electronics to furniture to cars. A strike could mean those ships would remain offshore for days. Analysts say a strike would have a domino effect on supply chains and consumers would end up paying higher prices. The union says it would continue to move military cargo and handle cruise ships. The last time there was a longshoreman strike was 1977. Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
They are not able to choose a president, but they are allowed to choose a spouse. WTOP's Luke Luker tells us D.C. may soon ban older teenagers from getting married.
As long as they have consent from their parent or guardian, 16 and 17-year-olds are allowed to get married in D.C. 9 council members, however, are introducing a new bill that would raise the age to 18 with no exceptions. Doesn't happen often, but just last year, 15 people under the age of 18 got married in the district. Neighboring Maryland and Virginia have much tighter laws on the books. Virginia outright banned child marriage starting this year. The Tahari Justice Center, a DMV-based advocacy group, says children who get married are 30% more likely to live in future poverty. Luke Luker, WTOP News.
Coming up, has pumpkin spice been replaced? Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.